All right, so hopefully everybody has watched the video from Khan Academy and just watched it to see if it makes sense to you. So I'm going to clarify a few things for you guys. Today we're talking about solving quadratic equations with a leading coefficient of 1, not 2 or 1/2 or anything like that. So with this lesson for 8.6, there's always a 1 in the front. Tomorrow we'll look at where there's other numbers because it takes it a step up. So we're looking to factor this. So factoring is what we're doing right now. So factoring a polynomial. Well, if you remember, when we factor something, we want to get it down into its prime factors, into the smallest form where we can't pull anything else out of that polynomial. So like x plus 2 would be a prime factor. This would be prime. Whereas 14x plus 18 would not be prime. There's something we could pull out of both of those. We could pull out well, I know I can pull out a 2. So if I pull out a 2 from this, we'll divide this by 2 and this. I get 2 on the outside. And then 7 on the inside. The x stays and the 9 stays. Okay, now there's nothing I can pull out of each of those anymore. So it stays just like that. This is prime, and we're good to go. Or not necessarily this is prime, it's just a solo number. Okay, I would ask any questions, but there's nobody to ask any questions, so I will take questions tomorrow. Or you can message me on the assignment or on Google Classroom. That works too. Okay, so let's take a look at one of these. X squared plus 11x plus 24. Okay, I know it says equals 0. We're not going to touch the equals 0 part just yet. Let's just worry about the factoring part. Okay, so what two things could we write to get this if we were to use the distributive property and punch it all out? Well, the first thing is that you have to decide is what number is going to go here. Well, if you remember the distributive property that we used, we did this number times this number times this one, and then we did this one times this one, and this one times this one. Okay, and that's going back a couple lessons. So, what numbers are we going to put in? Well, this number right here times this one is going to give us a number that's up here. Well, it's going to give us this number right here. So what two numbers would we put in? We would put x and x. Because x times x gets you x squared. Next number that we want to make sure of is the last number. Okay, the last number. Well, if these two guys get you the first number and these two guys get you the last number, what would the last number be? Well, there's a couple different combinations. Well, how are you going to get 24? So 24 is going to be, well, I could do 1 times 24. I could do 2 times 12. I could do 3 times 8. I could do 4 times 6. That's an 8. 4 times 6. Can I do 5 times? No, 5 doesn't go into 24. So, all right. So I could put any of those combinations. 1 and 24, 2 and 12. I could do 12 and 2. Like you can flip them from side to side. It doesn't matter. But now we have to take into account this 11 right here. When we put these things all in here, the middle term is what we have to worry about. So let's just try it out and see what happens. So if we put 2 and, let's do 2 and 12. Plus 2 plus 12. Okay, so then I have, let's come over here. So x plus 2 times x plus 12. All right, so let's just check it. Let's do our distributive property and see if it works. 1, 2. Okay, so The x times x is x squared. X times 12 is 12x. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times 12 is 24. So now we have to combine like terms. You know what? I'll stop using the red because that's really light. Okay? These two are the only things you can actually combine. So the 12x plus 2x makes a 14x plus x squared plus 24. Notice the x squared and the 24 don't have anybody else to combine with. So the 14x, does that match our guy at the beginning in the middle? It doesn't. So we know that the 2 and the 12, they aren't going to work. Now notice this 2 and 12, if we add those two guys together, we get 14. This 14 is the same as that 14. If at any point during this video something doesn't make sense, just rewind it a little bit and watch it again. Okay, so really what we're trying to figure out is what numbers multiply to get the last guy, but add to get the middle guy, to add to get 11. So multiply to get 24, but add to get 11 in the middle. So 1 and 24, if we add those together, we get 25. Nope, that doesn't add to 11. 3 and 8, that adds to 11. Ding, ding. That is our answer, okay? So we need to use the 3 and the 8 to put in for these spots right here. So x plus 3 times x plus 8. Then we do our distributive property. So x times x is x squared, plus x times 8, which is 8x, plus 3 times x, plus 3 times 8. Well, 3 times 8 is 24. Combine these guys in the middle and we get 11x. And then these guys are x squared and 24. And if you look, that's exactly what we started out with. So your final answer, when all is said and done, is going to be this.